What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing book 2 of the Amulet series called The Stonekeeper's Curse. Now, if you watched book 1, you would know we left off with, Emily sparing off Trez and, telling him, hey, leave my family alone. It won't be no problems. Emily and Navin got their mother back, but she's poisoned. So now this is the next book. We learned what the Stonekeeper was, who the Stonekeeper was, which is Emily now. Now in this book, we're learning more about the amulet and what's the curse about it. So we finally got the name of the watcher who's been watching Emily and Navin, and who asked Emily, like, hey, I don't want to kill you. I need you. I need you to help kill my father. His name is Trez. But we get into his side because, he's supposed to bring her back. I think he plays two motives. So his father probably wanted Emily for something else, but he wanted Emily to kill his father, and I don't think his father know that. So I have my first note. The king told his son that, hey, you failed this mission, and that mission was to bring Emily to their kingdom, because with this amulet, she's now very powerful, and since she is a kid, they see that, oh, we can easily manipulate her because she's a child, she's just getting into this new world, so she don't know what she's doing, and with the wrong help, she could be turned into a weapon. I got the king tells his son that he will be sending someone with him to complete the mission, which is our next character, Lugger. And Tress like, hey, I don't need you to send me a bodyguard. I don't need you to send me no babysitter. But the king's like, hey, I sent you by yourself. You didn't complete the mission. Now I gotta send someone with you so I can make sure I know this job is gonna be completed. And this person is also going to be like my watchful eyes. So not only are they going to make sure the job gets completed, they're going to make sure you are on your job. Even though you're my son, I still need this job to be completed. Trez says, hey, I work alone. He's very upset. But, like I said earlier, the king, like, I sent you by yourself. You failed to complete the mission. So now I'm sending someone with you that I know is gonna get the job done. I said, since in book 1, Emily spared the Watcher, which we know as Trez. He comes back empty-handed. Now, since he came back empty-handed, Emily didn't want to come with him. Emily is now the enemy. So now, Trez and his people, his father, is gonna come after her. And the amulet, which has a voice, tells her now that you didn't spare him, his people's gonna come after you. We have to prepare for battle because they are gonna bring people to fight, and they don't care that you are a child. You have this amulet, you are now a powerful enemy to them. And I did mention earlier, Emily's mom is still poisoned. Okay, so Emily, Navin, and the rest of the team finally reach this city called, I think, Canis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hoping to find a cure for the mom because, yes, she's still poisoned and they don't have the proper medicine or tools to fix her. So they hoping to go to this place and see if they could, wake her up and have her fully healthy because they the only family she got now. Emily, Nav, and the team are not the only people to reach Canis. Trez and Lugger have arrived as well. They are watching them. They're like, okay, we got to see where they moving so we can ambush them and get them. Watchers. Watching very much. And then I also seen that someone else is watching, but they are watching Trez. Let me go to that page if I can find it. right here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, but that is a fox. So at the time, I didn't know his name. So I called him the Watcher. Just like with Trez, I called him the Watcher until they introduced who the person was. We do find out his name, and his name is Leon. Oh yeah, we find out the second Watcher is named Leon, and he knew Silas, Emily and Navin's great-grandfather, and he knows that Emily is now the Stonekeeper. Flip over. I have a lot of notes. Leon wants to travel with Emily and the squad. Misket, the robot, was like, hey, we don't need you. Silas appointed me to take care of Emily and Navin. We don't need you. I don't know you. I never even heard of you. Silas didn't even mention your name. So I don't trust you. And then he told Emily, like, how are we gonna even pay him? But Leon's like, nah, I don't want your money. I just want to travel with you. And basically later in the book, he like, hey, I want to train you because now with you holding this Emily, you are the most powerful person in this world. And so we gonna have people coming after you. So we need to train you, because if you lose or they get that amulet, we are gone. So we need to mold you into, not say like a complete weapon with no emotions, but into a warrior. We need to mold you into a warrior. The amulet is becoming too powerful. And so the amulet, each time they get into a fight, the amulet is like, hey, let me be in control. And bad thing about that is if the amulet comes in control, Emily is not going to be Emily anymore. And it's going to turn her into a rogue. Like in the book, I'm going to tell you who becomes a rogue. It's going to turn her into a rogue, and she won't be the loving Emily before. So Emily's like fighting, like, no, I am not giving you control over my mind. We're going to be a team, not a one-man show. But Leon tells her, hey, with help, with support, you will learn how to control this Emily and not the other way around. The Emily controls you. Leon and Emily split up from the doc and the rest of the patients. Navin is told that, he is someone special. With your older sister, she's this stonekeeper, she's this powerful, and it cons in your head like, who am I then? Am I the sidekick? But no, Navin is actually someone very special, and he's gonna find that out. Okay, where am I at? Okay, so Navin ends up talking to this tree, the last Goba tree. It's the last tree. It's like a tree that can kind of see the future, but it actually sees like the pattern in life. It has visions based off the pattern of what life has taken. The tree tells Navin that he sees, Emily falling off the cliff, and of course, Navin's like, hey, my mom's poisoned, my dad's dead. I only got Emily. I can't lose my sister. So he rushes to save his sister, and to do that, he has to take the house from the elves and fight them. And when I mentioned that Navin finds out how special he is, Navin finds out that he is the commander of an army. So he has an army. He is the ruler of an army. So he's not just Emily's little brother. He is a commander. My boy got a role. And he, two powerful siblings. I like it. The king now we get back to Lugger, King, Trez, in their shenanigans. The king tells Lugger and Trez that if Trez fails his mission, Lugger has to kill Trez. Even though Trez is the king's son, he like, hey, the mission matters more. The mission is number one. Mission is priority number one. So he's like, hey, I don't care if you're my son, you failed this mission, you're dead. And I don't have any more kids. I would honestly think Lugger will be the son, the molded son, you know, the obedient son. And Tress like, really? But, you know, he does want to kill King. He does want to kill the king, so we'll see if that happens. Tress, originally I thought that Tress was a Stonekeeper gone rogue, because they was talking about, I think Leon was talking about when, like, they did have a couple people who were Stonekeepers, but the amulet took control of their mind and turned them into like a monster, which is why each time the amulet tells Emily that, let me take control, I got this, Emily's like, no, because like anytime you can see in the fight, her eyes turn like red, and that tells me she's not gonna be in control anymore. The amulet is, and I think the amulet just wants to kill people. So she's like, nah, we can't do this. And the other ones, it turned them rogue, it turned them into monsters, it turned them into people with a bloodlust. Like, they're not humans no more. They lost that humanity part about them. So I did put that Tress was a Stonekeeper gone rogue, but actually was not him. Lugger left Tress in the forest. I thought that he was gonna kill Tress, but he said, nah, I'm gonna complete the mission. I don't think you can complete the mission. You just not that guy. So he left him in the forest. The elves end up burning the tree, but before they burnt the tree, Emily, Leon, Misket talked to the tree, and they picked the right fruit that could save Emily's mother. So when they picked the right fruit, they end up leaving because, you know, the elves are like coming, so they gotta go. And Lugger and his group burned the trees. They burnt them. And, you know, RP to the trees. They were cool people. Tress came back to fight Lugger, but Lugger ended up transforming into like this like big ass creature. I don't know if Lugger was a Stonekeeper too that gone rogue, but he transformed into this big ass, tall ass monster. So maybe he is one. The team won for now. They won their battle for now. But yeah, the stone tried to take over Emily's mind, and Emily was like, no, I'm not letting you take over, because I feel like if you take over, I'm not gonna be myself no more. And I don't know if Emily's gonna get back herself if she allows that amulet to take over. And this is why I like Emily. She's like, hey, I like you, we cool and all, but I can't just let you take over. Tress is still watching them. They don't know, but he's still watching them. And Leon tells Emily that they need to train harder. And also, Emily and Navi's mom woke up, so she's alive for now. And the third book will be The Cloud Searcher. So this will be the next book I will be reading for the Amulet series. I want to say I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And later on, I have a video dropping my Clementine book review. So if you didn't buy the book, if you are a Clem fan, like the Walking Dead Telltale, you know, comment and we can have a respectable discussion. Deuces.